Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Duffy Duck here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Let's Play of Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360/PlayStation 3. So last time we actually did tackle through Dragon Road in a nighttime level, and also we beat the likes of Dark Gaia Phoenix. And today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be hopefully returning back to Spagonia once again, and able to actually do with more stuff here and there, but in forms of according to what Professor Pickle was trying to say to us, but in forms of the later portions throughout. So even then, we're hopefully guaranteed that we would able to actually come across into certain parts like that. So even then, yeah, with that being said, it's been a long while since actually coming back to this, because even then though that recently Sonic the Hedgehog was now going to be working on this Let's Play of the forms of Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed for, for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and you name the rest. So, yeah, I'm glad to be back in this. Even then, though, that hopefully we can able to get this game finished before I start to tackle through some more of the game itself, and especially noticeable with DLC coming soon. So even then, though, hopefully I will show you guys some of these DLC stuff, just like how it does in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 DLC. Despite the fact in Sonic 06 that I found that some of these DLCs aren't that worth anything, in my opinion. Well, besides very hard modes, because that is super tough and just gives my rage. Anyway, wonderful, another place has returned. Good work, Sonic, my boy. Well, thank you. Keep going at this rate and the planet will be good as new in no time. I love to see the look on that Eggman's face right about now. Speaking of that menace, it appears he became quite active as of late. I have heard reports of strange robot sightings here in Chunan. It gives me the chillies just to think of it. See what you can find out. So yes, basically all it's do is we need to get into not only Spagonia but also Chunan as well. So even then though, we can actually do like I would classify for saying how the fact that since we've already tackled through the nighttime stage before in the forms of Chunan, so that means we're going to be doing a double daytime stage today. About time though, actually, because even then though, ever since the first part of the forms of this particular Let's Play, that we did tackle 2 daytime stages all in one video, but in this, we're able to actually do this the same thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this secondary hub, and since we still got ourselves our stomp ability, excuse me, we got a stomp ability, so that means we can able to actually deactivate the switch, so that way we can able to get to the other side of Spagonia's hub world. And basically we actually come across into this new upgrade. In order to actually get to it, as you can see there, we need to find ourselves this little hangar obstacle, and then that way we can able to actually hit on the spring and just stomp at the right time to activate the switch, and then we get ourselves the wall jump shoes. Which basically, the wall jump shoes, if you remember from, Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, and especially Super Mario Galaxy, and all that stuff, basically this allows you to be able to jump from wall to wall. So even though that makes a little bit of suggestions we'll note it for. So, anyway, so there's a moon medal right there. I would normally try to go after the, another sun medal, but I might as well pass on that one, so... Anyways, and you also get yourselves the achievement if you manage to able to perform your wall jump for the very first time. So, it's one pointing out right away though. And perform a stomp at the right time. Oh, got all the rings. How about that then? So here we go, on to the Rooftop Run daytime stage. One of the best levels in the game. Because if you remember from the forms of how the fact that with Sonic Generations, that normally it contains this level. So even then though, I'm really glad they actually did manage to make this stage returning in Sonic Generations. Even though some people usually kind of prefer Alaska, because normally Sonic Generations doesn't have, the snow level, which, kind of like the same ways of how it does in the forms of Mario Party Star Rush for the 3DS. That normally most of the minigames have been entirely absent with the forms of snowy environment, which even then, I'm not sure how it does that though, but I digress. I also do really love the music too, especially with the daytime theme, which even then, it always makes me feel like I'm really energetic and all that stuff. Jump at the right time if you get to that sun medal right there, just to let you know if I want to actually get that, and if you go up there, you get yourself an art book, so nothing that important for me. especially with the plot element. So, anyway, wall jump from place to place, even though sometimes my wall jumps can get really, jinxed up at one point. I like how it does in the forms of Sonic Generations, that normally you can able to actually perform a wall jump if you manage to able to get into this little black pads. And then you weren't able to actually get to wall jumps from place to place. But in this, you have to be right on with that specific jump. And I found the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version of the wall jump ability honestly is kind of fiddly in my opinion, just because, well, recently I've managed to go back into the PlayStation 2 version of Sonic Unleashed on my own time, or in this case an off-screen, and then basically what happens is though is that when I was at Shamar Day, and then I was trying to able to actually 100% that version as well, just like the Wii version and the Xbox 360 version eventually, and even the PlayStation 3 version, not to mention that, because of the trophy system and all that stuff, or in this case the achievement system for the forms of this particular version I'm playing. For some reason, I'm having a hard time getting the S rank in the forms of Shamar Daytime Stage in the PlayStation 2 version. I don't know why this is, probably because of how the fact that what the controls in that particular version of the game is so damn slippery, and plus sometimes my collision detection doesn't seem to work on with me very well, kind of like how it does in Sonic Heroes for the PlayStation 2, but normally that's as far as I can really tell for that little differences between all four of them, but I digress. So anyways, we actually come across into these new types of robots introduced in this particular game, especially noticeable in the future Sonic games, well, before Sonic Colors, and I would classify for saying Sonic Generations as well, which I can assume this might be something to Delta for anyway. So anyway, as you can see, I've got myself my Sun Medal, thanks to the forms of, if you manage to get onto the right, thanks to that little fountain you can actually hop into, and that way you can able to get yourself a Sun Medal that way. So, yeah, you get the idea. Oh god. Alright, so there are quite a multitude of pathways you can actually go through for this point, and there's also some plenty of trio of rings, if you probably couldn't tell already from the previous sections ago. Oh crap, I missed the mood medal. Oh, I'm hoping I can get some of those until when we get to the future points throughout, but not right now though. So anyways, Donkey Kong reference while dodging for those barrels and all that stuff, except, well, spiky barrels, which, sure enough, yeah. Alright, so, yeah, I noticed for the fact that how, oh jeez, look at how much rings I've got at the moment, 432 at the moment, which even then, this level is very good for you if you want to able to get yourself an S rank in this level, then you would able to grab tons of rings, so, this is the part that you might actually think this might be fiddly, because it's one of those emphasis on the forms of how the fact that controls can sometimes really throws you off a little bit, but honestly, oh, it's not too bad to me though, but even then, it takes a while to get used to it, but anyway. Now, you know the fact there's actually a light speed dash trio of rings that you can able to actually just zip past through from previous sections ago, as I mentioned earlier. You can actually just manage to skip the entire platforming section with the forms of the balloon sequences, which even then, that would be very good for you if you want to do a speedrun tactics, but of course since we don't have ourselves a light speed dash ability at the moment, until when we get to Shamar, because you know, during the likes of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 versions of the entirety of Sonic Unleashed, they would normally try to perform the light speed dash on that level though, so yeah, that's basically how it goes. Alright, so time to go for boost to boost. Seriously, this game is a hell of a lot more influenced by the forms of boost heavy, which even then I was really appreciated by this little fact. But I digress though, so anyway, let's go and get our moon medal if you do the timing, well, the quick time events correct and what have you, but if you make one mistake, then you would able to actually not get the moon medal no matter what. This section can be tricky if you want to able to actually get your rings count going. Especially noticeable that at the moment I've actually reached over 600 rings, and eventually 700 until later on. Basically because of how the fact that we're actually on the rail grinding, and as a result we have to keep on shifting between those rail to rail syndrome. And then what happens is though is the fact that whenever if that robot's laser will catch you off guard whenever it's like completely autopilot for the forms of that particular curve cinematic stuff, and then basically what happens is though is that you would easily gonna get hit by the laser, so you just want to avoid that at all times. So anyways though, we're pretty much almost towards the end, and I think this might be the final part of the level, and whoa yeah! So even then though, that I'd like to know why exactly how much rings that I've got at the moment. I think I've got about 787 rings, and would you look at that, a glorious S rank. it's about time to be able to get ourselves an S rank ever since, you know, Missouri Night, because back in during the likes of, any other levels, mainly due to the previous daytime stage, and especially notable with the nighttime stages, most notably in Spagonia Night, that compared to that stage, I've accidentally got a D rank due to the clock tower section, just always throws me off at some point. But, oh well, at least I can able to actually accept the fact. So let's go ahead and level up strength for the Werehog, and we can able to actually use the last few experience points for the Werehog himself. So there we go then. That concludes Spagonia daytime level, and I believe next up we're going to be heading to is definitely the Chunon Day now. So even then that we could able to actually go ahead and you know, oh, this is my favorite part. Homing attack onto the rail grinding, and then you would able to get out of there faster. Or just normally just simply pause it with the actual pause menu, and then you would able to actually exit out the map very, very quickly. So that's why I always love to do that in this particular hub world itself. So anyways, here we go on to back to Chunon once again. And even then though, that last time we actually been to this place is because of how the fact that we've done a nighttime level, and especially noticeable beat the likes out of Dark Gaia Phoenix. So, but since the Phoenix is now good again, and now we can able to actually... No, I don't want to talk to you. Just... get out there. Jeez. So many people around in the town, and you could easily run into them if you did not able to actually, jump all over the place and just to get a move on. But that's just how it is for me. Okay then, so before we, do anything, we have to go get our third upgrade in the game. Which to me, this is probably the most worst power-up in the game, because if you manage to get this, you cannot homing attack for fun anymore, because if you do, you just might accidentally do your air boost and all that stuff. Yeah, air boosters. Because yeah, if you do the air boost in the air, you, what? Chip, I don't wanna... Go away. Jeez, what's going on with you? You're trying to ruin my, concentration by the forms of the air boosting technique. Oh, that's a bit of embarrassment. But anyway, so yeah, if you do an air boost in the air, I mean, if you manage to able to, like, you could not do a homing attack. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a videotape. Okay, never mind that. So yeah, whatever you do the air boost in the air, assuming if you don't have any rings with you, you cannot just use homing attack, anywhere else, because if you do that, then you would easily gonna get yourselves, thrown off in the actual, level itself, and that can get pretty frustrating in some emphasis. But even then, there's a sun medal right there by these two forms of these rainbow rings. Alright, so let's get to it by the forms of the daytime stage in Chunon, also known as Dragon Road. And I'm very actually looking forward to actually replaying the stage again, because even then, I absolutely love this stage in the forms of not only for this version in particular, but also the PlayStation 3 version too, because obviously how the fact that both the 360 and the PS3 versions visual-wise looked absolutely gorgeous. Well, despite the frame rate did drop a little bit. Oh yeah, if you go and destroy the right box, then you would able normally get yourselves a moon medal from here, so I just want to let you know that. So it might be very missable if you have a first time playing for this game, so XB and left bumper, there we go. So yeah, if you manage to perform that at the right time, then you would able to normally skip the entire portion of that beginning sequence there. And we were actually riding on the dragon. How about that then? Seriously, this environment almost reminds me like a Kung Fu Panda vibe, because even though, since this game came out in the forms of 2008, and I'm assuming the first Kung Fu Panda first Kung Fu Panda film, first came out in 2008 as well. Oh my god, that was close. I almost fell off and died for a moment there. But yeah, it contains a bottomless pit, by the way, if you notice if you actually slip up and what have you, but even then, yeah. So this is one of the more trickier parts about this level though, is the fact that we have to deal with a lot of platforming. So even then though, that if we manage to able to do that, then we would classify for able to actually be very cautious with these parts, because, you know, we just don't want to slip off and die on the process. So okay, it's gonna take myself slowly for this part because of the next moon medal. So far, I've already got 3 of them, so even then, know that I'm not sure if I can get all 3 of these sun medals, because I believe the first ever sun medal you can able to get is the forms of this sequence there, but it's really hard to actually get it though, because since you're in the fastest thing alive, and then as a result, you're actually bypassing it completely, so that was totally unnecessary to be able to do that. If you go up there, another moon medal. And that was close to fall off. Bowling style of, you know, just knocking out every single Eggman's robots. So, yeah, just don't use your air boost all the time though. When it comes to doing a homing attack and all that stuff, I highly suggest you wait until when your lock-on cursor shows up, but in forms of the green color, as opposed to red, in forms of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, that you're normally able to be safe. But even though, don't use your air boost all the time though, if you're able to actually run into bottomless pits, or in this case, trial and error moments here and there, but still. Alright, so I believe the sun medals usually go all the way over there, so if you manage to able to slide in, so even though you would able to get that way. I think the first ever sun medal, which I was supposed to try to get, but it's really hard to get it though. It's pretty easy to miss too, because you know, especially if you're a first run through of this. But anyways, another videotape, so I wonder what movie we can get. Is it just me, or is it how the fact that, oh, there's another moon medal right there, which I probably should grab. There we go, so that at least up to 5 moon medals, which is kind of a good thing, because until when we get to the later nighttime level, oh, I really do like that part of the level. That part of the level's cool. That normally, that if you manage to hop off to, you know, if you try to jump off the firework rocket, then just immediately activate the fireworks and say, oh my lord. Yeah, this is what platforming sections can get really slightly difficult every now and then, because, well, as you might have guessed it by now, because of how the fact that, oh my lord. Okay, jump. Okay. Alright, I suggest you wait until this particular enemy finishes electricity ability, and we can homing attack into him and just dash through rings, hop onto the rocket, in this case a firework rocket, and we should be able to be good to go, right? Well, it turns out at the very end of the level that we have to deal with this particular robot for now, so even then know that we've seen him in the forms of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, but only at the very beginning of the game. But better late than never to see him, I suppose, because even then though, just like how it does in the forms of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, we have to get away from him. But unlike the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, that you normally can attack him from behind, but this time though, that you can able to actually just run away from him. So even though that's all I can really tell from that point of view. So yeah, again, there's not much to it, but in forms of this particular section. So anyways, we're about to be finished up with, you know, Chunan Day level, and yeah. I don't think I actually did die on that level though, so let's see what rank I can get. Okay, B rank, it's okay. But even though, no, not the best run through, because I think I managed to get hit by 2 obstacles, but in forms of spinny spike stuff, and especially noticeable when in forms of that particular robot with that, you know, the shockwave ability and all that stuff, which even that might be seems to oh, so close to able to level up combat mode. Oh, jeez. I think at this point in time, folks, but until when we get to the later portions of this game, but in forms of actually grinding for more of these level up shrines, or in this case the Chaos XP, or in this case, yeah, that's all I can say about this here. Actually, before I'm able to actually get back to Spugonia, I'm actually going to be going after the medal hunting. I know it's a bit of a tedious part of the video though, because normally that's how this usually goes, but in forms of this version / PlayStation 3 version, because you know how tedious the medal collecting is sometimes, because, well, first off, they usually hit it in the, someplace else, and then even then though, unless if you look up on a guide of any sort, then I suggest you do that. So anyway, so let's shift to night now. So I want to know how much, I haven't got any medals, well, besides 1 sun medal I've already gone through, but I don't know exactly sure where the last few medals are in this particular secondary hub, which I'm hoping I won't able to actually miss out on that, but we'll see what happens there. Alrighty then. From here we got ourselves a notebook, which, yeah, I might as well obtain it, so even though, just for the sake of, like, curiosity. So, unless if you actually going after every single, items throughout like this, but in forms of the achievements, requirements, and all that stuff. But anyways, we got ourselves a moon medal there, and, yeah, it appears to be a second act of the forms of the daytime stage, which we're, well, probably not gonna do that, because, we're just gonna have to go through stages normal. So even then though, like, you know, the main story stages and, oh, this is actually a second act? Okay, never really thought about that, but hey, at least we can able to actually just, well, see how this will turn out. But obviously I'm gonna completely bypassing it completely, because, oops, I accidentally died right there, because I did accidentally jump at the early point, so, whoops. Okay, I think that pretty much does it for the medal collecting for now on, though. Sure, I've already got, like, just one, moon medal, but that's okay, because even though I've still got enough as it is, as far as this point right about now, but I'm sure of the fact that we can able to actually just to get even more medals along the way, including the likes of the next nighttime level, but it wasn't until when we're gonna have to deal with the next objective right now, because, you know, since we've already accomplished with the forms of, well, Junon Day, and especially Spagonia Day, that means we can able to actually deal with, I'm assuming the next boss in this game, but it forms, if you have been following through the Wii and the PlayStation 2 versions of that particular Let's Play, of Sonic Unleashed anyway, that, you know what it looks like. It's basically Egg Devil Ray is gonna be up next. So, yeah, as far as I can see how this will turn out, and, let's see if I can do this little, get out of my way, people. Time to do this awesome trick, woohoo! And able to actually get into the Professor Pickle's lap in no time. Maybe I could do that at some point again, but it wasn't until, after we able to, okay. The keys, what we've gathered, should get you into the Spagonian Temple, my boy. Yeah, which I've already got those two. Godspeed, Sonic, the temple waits you in the Chaos Emerald. So, yeah, now we can able to deal with the main boss in the forms of, you know, Spagonia. So even though you know exactly what I'm talking about, it's definitely, Egg Devil Ray. So, even though we can able to actually beat the likes out of the the Egg Devil Ray, for a second time. Well, at least technically, considering the amount of time, since I've already played the Wii version all the time, and especially noticeable with this version in particular, and off-screen of the PlayStation 3 version, and even the PlayStation 2 version for that matter too. So anyways though, alright, what we're supposed to do is the fact that we need to go behind here, right behind what the actual wall climbing or wall jump sequence is right there, and that way we can able to actually get into Egg Devil Ray. So, you know how the fact that on the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version that normally Dr. Eggman is going to be in charge of this particular boss fight in the forms of any other version. But in this version, alongside with the PlayStation 3 version, it's now replaced as, well, so this little cutscene is about to be playing through for this point. It's one of his minions. This is a little bit different for the forms of that particular version than the likes of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version. So yeah, you know how this boss fight works. All you have to do is basically just try to able to approach the Egg Devil Ray, and then you would able to attack his glass stone, and that way you should able to deal the attack. However though, in the forms of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, you need to wait until when the shield is being weakened and all that stuff. But this version, this boss fight is a complete joke, unless if you're able to actually keep on boosting and just try to able to slowly approach to them, which even then, that boss is considerably a lot more easier compared to how it does in the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, because if you think the shield might actually do like some protectioning, but turns out that that particular Egg Devil Ray cannot able to actually defend himself, so even then though, that I can simply just keep on attacking his glass stone and, oh crap, I missed that moon medal, but oh well. At least I can get some more until when we get to the future points, but still. So yeah, this is really, really easy. Of course, there are some lasers to dodge, just like how it does in the forms of the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, but hey. Unfortunately, it doesn't do like a your little dialogue for Dr. Eggman in this version, which even then, until the, you know, the Wii and the PlayStation 2 version, that Dr. Eggman always says that. So anyway, here's the next attack you do need to dodge, and that is the forms of this giant screen nuke laser, which even though that maybe seems the case, I'm really hoping I won't miss that sun medal. In fact, I've got that right here. I really need to get more ring energy, so just in case I can able to deal some of the damage on Egg Devil Ray. Oh, got it. And the last hit, and booyah! See, this boss is incredibly easy though. So yeah, that was about it for the Egg Devil Ray, and that pretty much does it, but it forms off the majority of Spagonia, so let's see what rank I got. Oh, nice effort. In this case, A rank for that matter. A stands for awesomeness. Sweet. I'm just saying that phrase, but in forms of, you know, Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. I really do miss that particular show as far as that point in time, because I don't know what happens to the forms of the continuation of that Nicktoons show, but I digress. Enough about this little topic. So anyways, let's go ahead and restore the continent, or this third continent, and the third Chaos Emerald, which appears to be, you know, blue. Just pure blue in that case. So yeah, that will pretty much restores 3 pieces of the forms of the actual planet Earth. So we've only got about, I would classify for saying, 4 more continents left, in addition to the last 4 Chaos Emeralds. So, but even though 3 Chaos Emeralds has already been done and over with, and now I suppose we can able to talk to Professor Pickle once again, and hopefully we can able to actually do more stuff by the looks of all things. And I think it looks like the next destination we're about to be heading to is actually going back into Alaska, but this time we're going to be doing a nighttime level for this matter. So even though hopefully we can able to get a chance while doing so. Wonderful! Another piece has returned. Good work, Sonic, my boy. Sonic, you must bring a Chaos Emerald to the Alaska Temple. You should have little problem getting inside now, my boy. So yeah, now we can able to actually get into Alaska Night, or in this case, yeah, speaking of such, that we can able to hit back to Spagonia, but this time we can do a nighttime level. But I'm actually saving that up until the next video, because sure, this video was short enough as it is, because of how the fact that I'm going to be doing a, well, because I've already had a lot of fun, but it forms of the daytime stages after all. Because, you know, the daytime stages are the best part about this game, because it's so energetic, and also some little bit of high-speed action, so... Excuse me. So anyways, I'm going to have to end things off here for this point, folks, so join me next time while Let's Play Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360/PlayStation 3. It's the fact that we're about to be returning back into Alaska, but this time we're going to be doing a nighttime level, and hopefully trying to restore the 4th continent. So, everything else will be doubly in check. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.